Many Japanese people might not know what monks do in their daily lives. In this video, we will follow a monk who lives at a temple in the countryside, exploring his daily life and work in detail. By watching this video until the end, you will better understanding a monk's work, responsibilities, and connections with the local community. You will also gain a deeper appreciation for Japanese culture. Let's get started. I'm at the temple in my hometown. Today, I will follow a day in the life of a Buddhist monk. I'm so excited. There will be so many things that I can learn, even as a Japanese person. Okay, so I'm excited to meet the monk at the temple. Finally, let's get started. Let's house it. Monks start their day early. His name is Keishu Ninomiya, and he is the head monk of Daisenji, a large historic temple in the small town of Yaotsu in Gifu Prefecture. He makes rice porridge from early morning. Rice porridge is connected to Buddhist training and tradition. It's easy to digest and doesn't put stress on the body, making it perfect for spiritual training. Daisenji Temple in Yaotsu, Gifu Prefecture is a quiet temple surrounded by beautiful nature. Its historic buildings and beautiful gardens help visitors feel peaceful. It's also famous as a place where the legendary swordsman Miyamoto Musashi supposedly trained, making it popular with history fans. From the bell tower, you can see beautiful mountains, perfect for refreshing your mind and body. One of the most impressive parts of the monk's morning routine is the time for reading sutras. He starts by chanting sutras in the main hall, expressing deep gratitude and respect to Buddha. Then he prays for previous monks, the health and peace of temple supporters, and the safety and prosperity of the local area and its guardian spirits. It is moving to see him pray for people affected by earthquakes and for the peaceful rest of those who have passed away. On the cold winter morning, the monk's strong voice echoing in the white breath is very impressive. Chanting sutras every day without fall in such cold weather is definitely not easy. Do you do this every morning?
毎朝やってます。
How do you feel about that?
リセットされたようなというか、すがすがしい気持ちでやってます。
He chants sutras and greets the Jizo Bosatsu, Fudo Myo, and memorial tablets in the next room. Jizo is a Buddhist figure who protects people in trouble and those who have died, especially known for helping children and travelers. In Japan, you often see small stone statues of Jizo wearing red bibs. Bosatsu are like Buddha's helpers who work to save people. Names like Kannon Bosatsu and Monji Bosatsu are well known. Memorial tablets are for remembering those who have passed away. He offers prayers and gratitude to each one. Watching the monk continue his prayers outside is also impressive. Even in the dark, where footing is dangerous, he walks without hesitation thanks to his daily routine. Meanwhile, I, being unfamiliar, almost trip on the stairs. He casually says, "You get used to the cold." But those words make me realize how inexperienced I am. It reminds me of the strength that comes from daily practice and the importance of mental training. The monk's breakfast has very special characteristics in how it is eaten and the manners involved. First, he puts his hands together and bows before eating to show gratitude. During the meal, it is impressive to see how he carefully lifts his bowls, maintains good posture, and uses his chopsticks quietly. His way of eating without making noise shows how much he values the meal itself. What surprises me even more is how he cleans up after eating. He pours a little tea into the bowl, washes it to remove any remaining rice grains or food bits, and then drinks the tea. This practice of not wasting any food follows Buddhist principles. Watching this process makes me realize that eating is actually an act of receiving life. Through these manners, I am reminded to be grateful for everything. The monk's daily habits are full of deep meaning and careful attention to detail. Just watching makes me want to live more mindfully. Morning garden cleaning is also part of the monk's routine. In the quiet time before sunrise, seeing him clean the garden with a broom gives a feeling of carefulness and calm. There are fallen leaves and twigs scattered in the garden, but he carefully sweeps them up one by one. The scene is somehow peaceful with only the sound of sweeping in the air. When I ask him about it, he says this sweeping isn't just cleaning, it's an important time for cleaning his mind. By cleaning the garden, he can clear away distracting thoughts and start the day fresh. Also, since the garden is a place the local people and temple visitors see, the act of cleaning is a way of being considerate to others.
自分たちのその生活周りをきれいに保つことによって、心が整うとされてるんですけど、歯を磨かない人はいないと思うんですけど、そういった感覚でやってます。
I feel I could enjoy it more if I thought of it as time to clear my mind. After morning sutras and sweeping, without even taking a break, it's time for temple supporters to visit. Temple supporters are faithful members who support the temple, and then when they come to visit graves, the monk chants sutras to honor the deceased. At this time, he changes clothes again and prepares to welcome the supporters. When chanting sutras, he wears special clothing and approaches the memorial service properly. The monk goes to the grave with the supporters and quietly chants sutras there. The sutras contain prayers for the peaceful rest of the deceased, and it's also important time for families to remember their loved ones. Here, you can feel the monk's respectful attitude towards the deceased along with the supporters. In this way, the monk stays always busy with one thing after another to handle. Still, the monk puts his full effort into each task without cutting corners. Even when busy, he faces each supporter with sincerity and responds politely. In rural temples, a monk's role goes beyond teaching Buddhism and performing memorial services. They are deeply involved with the local community and nature, especially in temples located near forests and owning forest land. Monks often take on the role of nature manager. We see the monk holding a chainsaw and carefully sharpening its blade. This is a typical daily scene for rural monks. Temples that own forests need to maintain trees. If left unattended, trees become too dense, air circulation becomes poor, and the forest environment gets worse. That's why the monk himself uses the chainsaw to cut trees and trim branches. Wow, it's a day in the life of the monk. I didn't imagine that this is kind of the monk's job, but it's part of fun, so let's cut the tree. He does this especially to maintain a safe environment for temple supporters to visit graves. The forest near the temple spreads around the path and graves that supporters use, and in nature, there is always a risk of falling trees and dead branches. The path can become slippery in rain or hard to see due to fallen leaves, increasing the risk of falls and injuries for elderly supporters visiting graves alone. You are working so hard. Why are you doing this?
お寺側が代が若くなっていくということで、お寺が今までやってこなかったことっていうのに火を当てていくっていうのが次の代に伝わっていけば。
When Keishi was finishing his work, there was an accident. The truck's battery died, and the vehicle doesn't move. But without panicking, he makes one phone call and local people quickly come to help. This incident shows how much he is loved by the local people. Keishi values connections with temple supporters and local people, contributing the community through forest maintenance and temple operations. This naturally leads to many people trusting him. The relationship between the monk and local people goes beyond simple association. They are connected by strong bonds, which is why they can help each other in times of trouble. I felt that this warm community exists because of Keishi's personality. How's it, Japan? We are not just tour guides, we are your local friends in Tokyo. With us, you won't waste time getting lost in train stations or tourist crowds. Instead, you will explore top spots and hidden gems like a local. Whether you come with friends, family, or as a couple, you will have an amazing time and we can't wait to share the best of Tokyo with you. No stress, no getting lost, just fun, shared memories, and seeing Tokyo in a way you will never forget. Come check us out on Instagram to get a better feel for who we are and book your experience through our website. Let's chill with us in Japan! After graduating high school, Keishu went to university in Kansai and then worked as a Japanese cuisine chef in Kyoto. He really loves cooking and that is one reason he returned to being a monk. I want to cook food and share it with temple supporters and local people, making them happy. Also, I hope to share Japanese tradition and Buddhism through cooking. When he talks about it, his expression is very lively. His lunch is 8 treasures fried rice made with vegetables from supporters and leftover morning porridge. His knife skills and efficiency are truly professional. You can clearly see his experience as a chef. Keishu once went abroad and studied Buddhism and other religions in various countries, while trying local foods, looking at Japan from the outside. Through that experience, he rediscovered the goodness of Japan's historic traditions and cuisine. Hearing such stories make you think, wow, that's really interesting. During memorial services, serving food to temple supporters is Keishu's regular practice. Taking a bite of today's 8 treasures fried rice, I think it will surely make everyone smile. And yes, it's delicious. As a religious organization, they sponsored an Olympic candidate for practice canoe racing at a local high school in rural areas. As the population decreases, young people often leave their hometown, like me, and local faith and traditions gradually fade. In this situation, by supporting young people and building connections, they hope to bridge the gap between the temple and local people, especially the younger generation. This creates opportunities for young people to connect with religion and traditions.
地元の若い人たちとつながっていくっていうことがこれからの仏教、宗教界においてはかなり重要なことかなと考えていて、お寺と一般の人との関わりを持っていく。
These efforts seem to provide new value to the local community beyond just the temple's traditional role. What are your plans for the afternoon?
午後からは少し事務作業のようなことで、今ですとお歳暮の礼状でしたり、今度役員会の案内などを印刷して発送します。
The afternoon is relatively quiet, with Keishu focusing mainly on office work. Local people often drop by the temple casually for consultation or greetings. Meanwhile, I take a walk around the temple grounds. For me, who lives a busy life in Tokyo, paying attention to nature's beauty, bird songs, and wind sounds is something I rarely do. But here, you notice these small things. When I hear temple, I have a strong image of listening to important talks or studying, but it's not just that. The experience here is simpler. It is time to notice things we tend to forget in daily life. Being grateful while cleaning, praying, just sitting without the phone, slowly enjoying food. Each of these actions made me aware of my inner self and surroundings. What's your final task?
この夕刻の鐘をつきに行ってきます。この鐘をつくために、小学校からも早く帰ってきて、夏と冬で2時間ぐらい違うので、冬だともうこの4時半には帰ってこないといけないので、それが小さい頃はちょっと嫌でした。
In the evening, as quiet spreads through town, Keishu prepares to ring the bell. At the bell on the hilltop overlooking the whole town, Keishu rings it 18 times at sunset. The bell ringing time changes with sunset times. The bell sound isn't just a ceremony. I feel it has deep meaning, quietly announcing the day's end and resonating in townspeople's hearts. The bell sound with the sunset spreads through town, giving a warm feeling like the whole town is being watched over by Keishu. Seeing the bell rang to protect, support, and connect with the townspeople shows how important monks are to their communities. I also learned how Buddhist teachings aren't just religious theory but are used in real life and deeply affect people's hearts. It is an experience that reminds me of gratitude and consideration that we tend to forget in daily life. If you want to know more deep side of Japan, Tokyo, please watch our video and subscribe to our channel. If you enjoyed this video, like kind of content, drop a comment and let us know how you feel, okay? So see you in the next video. Bye. How's it?